My name is Bojan Savic here at the Mercedes-Benz of Scottsdale, right across from the Fashion Square. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about this new 2018 Mercedes AMG GT-R. Well, this one is going to be a little bit different. And what is going to be different about this, because we really don't need these videos and all this stuff. Our Mercedes needs all this stuff to sell this car, right? So just to describe you, when you come in, or when we have the average Joe that it comes in, and well, very successful average Joe come to look at this car, because in the end this car starts at 157,000. So we need a very successful average Joe to get into this car. So when you come in, you walk in. If you don't know that already, you walk in, you walk around this car, you check it out from the front, from the angle, from the sides, from the back, and all that stuff. You go inside, we sit in, we start the engine, you hear the sound. Basically, you write the check. The job is finished. That's what we have about this car. So the purpose of that is not really the selling it, but it will be something like, let's say you see, you watch the movie and you see the new actress or actor in the movie, you see the commercial, so you see this really interesting, good-looking person, and you just want to find out a little bit more about it. You know, how old is she, where she's from, does she have a sister or something like that. You want to find out more. So I'm here to tell you that a little bit more, because we already know when you see this car, when you come close to it, when you walk around it, when you press the accelerator pedal, you know you want it. You know there's one of the cars that your natural instincts are prompting you, I want this car. So now I'm here to tell you what you're gonna like about this car, why should you get this car, and what are the things that are so unique about this car. So one of the unique features about this vehicle, well, right from the front, when you look at this, you're gonna notice this new Panamericana Grille. Panamericana Grille dates back from the 1950s, when a 300 SL racer of that time, the best racer in the world that came in. It's basically, that's where it look and the style, but it's also of our GT3 racers of today. That's how the front end looks on the vehicle. So one of the things that you notice, this GT-R is different than its siblings of the GTC or the GTS or the regular GTC front bumper, front spoilers, and everything else. Besides the fact that you're going to see this opening for the coolers, for the vents, for the cooling of the front on the engine, you're going to notice that in the front there is a difference. This front carbon fiber lip will go down by 40 millimeters, so that it can reduce of the front axle the lift of 40 kilograms. That's going to reduce it by 40 kilograms at 155 miles an hour. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. That's going to be a little bit different about this car. This car, definitely take it home, put it in the garage, admire its beauty, take it around the street, go on the freeway, take it off in the on-ramp. But you got to know, and will you find out if you don't know, that the spiritual home for this car is a racetrack. This car is what AMG is all about. This is its true representation of what the AMG is, what the AMG is trying to do, and what the AMG represents. Not to say that its other siblings that are GTC, the GTS, or the GT are not trying to do that, and many of our other, the AMG models. But where's this car pushing it to the front and to the limit of the physical capabilities of the car, and about what I'm going to tell you next. So this particular model, I'm sure that some of you enthusiasts will notice right away, the vehicle is equipped with the carbon ceramic brakes. When you see this carbon ceramic brakes in a vehicle like this, you know this vehicle means business. But I was mentioning to tell you, why is this a racetrack car? Why is this spiritual home is actually on the racetrack? Well, I'm guessing you already know, but I'm just going to quickly go through it. This is a 4-liter bi-turbo engine with the hot V, with the turbos that are placed inside. And you have the engine is a mid-front engine, so the front engine is parked right behind the front axle, and it has a dry sump lubrication, so it's lower to the ground as much as it is possible. I'm gonna pop the hood of this baby so you can see for yourself. So this engine is placed basically right here. So behind the front axle, and because of the drive sump lubrication, you can drop it all the way almost to the ground, so you can improve the balance to the front and rear of the car. So I'm going to go a little bit later in the turbos of this car. Of course, then you have here, you have the passenger and the driver, and then over the rear axle we have the transmission. Basically, it's called the Transaxle. So the front axle, the rear axle, the front engine is moved to the back, drop lower to the ground. Then you have the driver, and then you have the rear axle, and you have the transmission over there. So the vehicle gives you the 5347 rear biased rear wheel drive car. So what's special, what's new about this engine, about this car than the regular one? Well, on the Nürburgring, if you would push this bad boy all the way to the maximum, it will get you about 20-25 seconds faster than the GTS. Not saying that the GTS is a bad car, it's an awesome car, but this one does things just a little bit better. So it also has a forged pistons. Also on this one that are more heat resistant than the regular one. Yes, it does have the nanoslide technology AMG patent that will allow you same feature that Lewis Hamilton has with the Formula One. So basically they do reduce the friction and the wear with the nanoslide technology of this engine. Also the engines have the two new turbos, brand new turbos for this particular engine. They will raise its pressure on the inside from 1.2 for 1.35 bars. Yes, that creates a lot more. Also the engine management, it's very sophisticated. You're talking about combustion. It's remapped completely for this engine so that it can produce more power, even though in its siblings it produces as high as 515 horsepower. So that's what's new, what's sophisticated, and what's different than the others. Also, the vehicle has the new lithium-ion battery that reduces the weight of the vehicle significantly. So those are the new things where the vehicle will really shine really on the racetrack. And basically on all the improvement, they even improve the rotational rigidity of the vehicle, so it allows less flex by 7.5% than before. So those are all the attributes that you would need, and they will count when you're on the racetrack. Because don't forget that this vehicle on the Nürburgring, more celebrated racetrack in the world, it provided with 7 minutes and 10 seconds. And then as far as we know, that's one of the fastest production car times that are rear-wheel drive. Basically what I'm trying to say, this is significant. So I want to tell you a little bit more on the front again why I'm mentioning so racetrack and what's so special, what's so unique about this car, what many of the others don't share with that. So what happens when you mash that accelerator pedal, when it gives the input to the engine and the fuel goes inside, and you put that pedal to the metal? Well, of course, we will get all that power generated right away, because these twin turbos that are inside of the hot wheel will give you the, as we mentioned, 1.35 bars of pressure inside of the engine. And yes, those turbos will spin 186,000, again, 186,000 RPMs. Just for the fan facts, I'll tell you that it's about 3,100 revolutions per second. Every second, 3,100 revolutions per second. They will be pounding that air ramming back to the engine, sending 577, 516 pound-feet of torque to the shaft that's made out of the carbon fiber into the rear transmission to put that power to the ground. Yes, we do have the electronic limited slip differential. Yes, that's going to be dispersing this power to the left and the front to the wheel that has the most traction on it. So again, we know that you do have carbon ceramic brakes, so you'll be able to stop all that power, because now we're in exciting. So when all that beauty happens, I just want to point out some of the other things. That on the roof on this car, it's made out of the carbon fiber. If you notice, there's a giant rear spoiler that will matter on the greater speeds, and we're talking a racetrack, because you will be going, you can go up to 197 miles per hour Mercedes-Benz. Can you do more? I don't know. Find out. Let me know. And also, and below, everything is on the carbon fiber as well. And we do have the magnesium the exhaust system, that's 6 kilograms lighter than the regular one. Then again, it proves its 7.5% torsional rigidity of the car, so you can send this baby flying across the racetrack. That's what gives it the edge. That's what's different about this car to compare to its other siblings, especially toward the other vehicles that are into this category. And the most exciting place, most exciting seat in this car, of course, the driver's seat. So what's in front of you, what's different, what's new? How would you know instantly that you're in the GTR? Just by one thing, one question can tell you that you're in the GTR. Well, in the middle, you have this yellowish button that says TC, stands for traction control. It does have the 9 stages. Only the bravest, only the craziest, or the most skillful ones will be able to turn it off completely. So also it has the 3-stage ESP. Basically, you can disconnect just about all those electronic safety systems on the car. Whew! That must be a lot of fun, because don't know really how that would look like. I definitely do not have the courage to do all that. And I know that some of you might be thinking like, well, back in the day, people were driving the cars just without any of this electronic stuff. Well, yes, that is absolutely true. That doesn't exist. But also 577 horsepower, 515 pound-feet of torque car didn't exist. That has, good thing, it's almost perfect weight to balance ratio, 43 and 47 and 53 weight to balance ratio. So those are the things that are kind of makes the difference between this car and maybe some of the others. So completely turned it off. But also this car is civilized. And as I said, the spiritual home is a racetrack, but it is civilized. It does have the comfort settings, it does have the sport settings, and it does have the Sport Plus settings. And yes, also it does have the race mode, so you can launch this, or AMG launch control, to the fastest up to the 3.5 seconds. Right around there, it's going to depend on the skills of the driver. Also, the other settings, you can adjust the suspension of the car. You can have it stiffer, Sport Plus, really stiff, or you can have it relaxed for the city driving, so the drive can be still civilized for the city and enjoyable. Also, you can put this vehicle in complete manual mode, where you can use these pedal shifters if you think you can drive faster than this DCT transmission, dual clutch. Also, you have the adjustment for the performance exhaust. You can make it a little bit louder, so you can hear a little bit louder pop, pop, pop when it's shifting gears, and also when it's downshifting, so make it a little bit more exciting for the ears. As they say, this car comes with 2 sound systems. One is a Burmester, the other one is exhaust, depending on which one do you like faster. Also, being the Mercedes-Benz, you have extra nice in interior. As far as the upstairs stitching in the yellow that's combined with this black interior, you have the carbon fiber that's also in the front. Also the race inspired seats, the Alcantara that's on the A-pillar, everything on the roof. And yes, you do have the button right here that you can lower that front air dam by 40 millimeters. Then just you gotta watch out where you park and how you park. No metal barriers in the concrete, because you definitely don't want that on such a car. So in short, Mercedes AMG GT-R for 2018, the first one's just getting released. You have this car in the green hell Magno, the hottest color that ever came out. So the vehicle is here. Please look me up, give me a call, email, text, whatever it's easiest for you. If you have any questions about the car, I would be happy to answer any and all of them. My name is Bojan Savik with Mercedes-Benz of Scottsdale, right across from the Fashion Square. Please check us out.